I'm a math teacher at Concord High School. I teach advanced geometry and algebra 2 this year. In around November, we did a project around constructions in geometry, and where students were learning how to create different geometrical figures using a compass and a straight edge. So based on circles to create different shapes and different things. So I had presented them with this table of 9 options, and part of their assessment was to choose 3 to demonstrate and present in some form of so a lot of students chose to write children's stories using these, or 3 of the 9 choices as either a scene for a story or as part of a building of their story. So I have 3 presenters with me today: Alan Yap, Grace Murray, and Quinn Marino, and I'll present Will Clorians at the end. It's pretty neat. We've also been working on rubrics with competency grading. So the 2 big competencies that we've been working with in geometry this year is modeling with mathematics and communicating. So communicating notation, proper vocabulary, but in addition to effective means of communicating not just math, but to present things. So I have some students, and we're going to kind of just jump right into it. So Alan is up first. I'll stay with him.
Thank you.
Did you want to just click it.
ABC 1, 2, 3. Let's learn advanced geometry. Meet Timmy Triangle. I'm Timmy Triangle. Timmy wants to build a pool. He wants it to almost look like a circle but still have visible edges. He makes a 12-sided pool called a dodecagon. Dodecagon. Here is how he built his pool. He put a drain plug in a cement pit and labeled it A, drainage plug. He maps out a circle with chalk with A as the center. He decides that he wants a pretty flower at the bottom of his pool. To do this, he draws 6 circles around the cement. Timmy labels the circles as he goes: L, G, N, and Y. To see where the edges of his pool are, he draws line NP, GR, RY, GY, and LP. Timmy connects the edges of his lines to form his dodecagon. Finally, Timmy pours the concrete edges and washes out the chalk. Now he has a fun pool. We. Oh. Timmy is so excited about his pool that he goes on a vacation. He decides he wants to climb Mount Triangle. But Timmy doesn't know if he can climb it. Timmy wants to find the altitude of Mount Triangle to see if he can climb it. First, Timmy needs to bisect the base of the mountain vertically. He starts by labeling the tips of the triangle A, L, and N. Next, Timmy draws circle A so it intersects line LN at 2 points. After that, he marks the points that circle A intersected LN, Y, and P. Timmy draws circle Y and circle P so that they are the same size and have radius that is greater than halfway between points Y and P. He draws a line through the 2 points of intersection of circle Y and circle P. Timmy knows that the left side half of the mountain marked by the perpendicular line is 20,000 feet. He also knows that the right half is 22,000 feet. In addition, the length of the outermost right side is 37,000 feet. Now, Timmy uses the Pythagorean theorem to find the height of Mount Triangle. Mount Triangle is 43,046 feet tall. Timmy decides that Mount Triangle is too high to climb. Maybe he can just go swim in his new pool.
I'm all in.
So as you can see, some of his constructions were based on building the scene of his story. Next, we have Grace Murray with Lord of the Radii.
Grotto the elf lived in a round little house with a nice mossy floor and a dodecagon door. Grotto was just sitting down with some tea when Fandolf the wizard flew in on a bee. "Come on, Grotto," said Fandolf with glee. "You and me have got things to see. We're going to the great geometry." So Fandolf and Grotto, they both set out, and in their journey they were quite devout. The first thing they came to caused Grotto to shout, "A mountain so tall, and they couldn't reroute." But Fandolf said, "Grotto, find its altitude," and that quite changed Grotto's attitude. They tunneled right through and shouted hooray. Then they quickly set off to go on their way. "Finally," said Fandolf, "oh look and see, we've made it to the geometry. But we have one more step for we're through to climb up that ladder, so tie up your shoe." So they climbed up the ladder and they climbed through the hole, and all that exercise took quite a toll. Now all we must do is open that door, and all the secrets of life will be yours. But the 30-degree triangle doors would not open, which made Grotto and Fandolf feel like mopin'. Then Fandolf realized what to do. "I'll fly through the keyhole and open it for you." So Fandolf flew in and opened the door. Grotto was floored. And there on a golden pillow sat a beautiful book with pages that billowed. They opened the book, and to their surprise, only a couple of words lay inside. They said, "The real treasure is all the geometry you learned along the way."
So in her story, she used a lot of the three choices in construction from the task as parts of the background of the story. So in the beginning, the dodecagon door, similar to the pool, finding the altitude of a triangle. So there was that, and bisecting and creating a 30-degree triangle. So those were her constructions, and she built them into the story. Now, because she chose to do her story in rhyming scheme, she was missing, again, part of the rubric was mathematical vocabulary and notation, so she attached that at the end, similar to some children's stories that we see. And then further constructions, and then how she did her work. And last up is Quinn.
A Family of All Angles by Quinn Marino. Once upon a time, there were two circles, Aaron and Tiffany, who were getting married. After they got married, they decided to have a baby. When they had the child, they named it Equal. A couple of years later, Aaron and Tiffany had another child named Ladder. Aaron and Tiffany always wanted 3 kids when they got married, so they had a third kid. But when she was about to give birth, she had to go into surgery. She had a bisection done, meaning they were having twins. Their names were A and L. At Thanksgiving, Aaron and Tiffany wanted to get a family photo. Equal and ladder were equilateral triangles, so all of their angles were 60 degrees. Since A and L were bisected, they both equaled 30 degrees, but also had 60-degree angles like equal and ladder. That means if the whole family is there, they should make up 180 degrees, a full family. A and L didn't want to be together, so right before the picture was taken, A had pushed L out. Now the family only equals 150 degrees and not 180.
Thank you.
As a health educator, I love this story best.
So this is just one of his stories. Quinn actually came up with one other story that also touched on 2 other choices from the grid. So this was one of his constructions on creating a 150-degree angle. So that's why he pushed out that last baby.
Sibling rivalry.
Yes. Finally, I'm going to share with you, so again, his constructions and notation. I'm going to share Will's, Will Chorlian, his story, Dr. Construction Stein. I'm always amazed by his artist work. Yes. Meet Dr. Construction Stein. Dr. Construction Stein wants to make a dodecagon monster using a straight edge and a compass. To complete his task, Dr. Construction Stein used his protractor, compass, to construct circle W and circle I. He made sure both circles were equal radii, so each circle intersected the other circle. Dr. Construction Stein then labeled the intersections of his two circles as points L and B, and drew circle L and B with equal radii to circles W and circle I. So it's creating his constructions. After constructing circle L and circle B, he notices that when L and B intersect I, they create two new points. Dr. Construction Stein decides to label these points R and E, and he creates circle R and E with equal radii. Equal that to the others. Dr. Construction Stein then labels the points where circle E, circle R, and circle I intersect at point M. And finally, he constructs circle M with a radius equal to circle R and E. This forms a ring of circles around circle I. I'm not going to read all of that notation, but it does make sense, I promise you. So he is creating sides of a dodecagon with parallel lines connecting opposite points. And then he brings it to life. So Dr. Construction Stein looked at his creation with tears in his eyes. And after a moment of silence, the dodecagon monster spoke. "Hello, master. What is in your pocket?" Dr. Construction Stein paused and then said, "Oh, this is a ruler. What does it do?" "It can measure the height or length of something." "Can it measure your height?" "Well, sort of." Dr. Construction Stein explains that to measure how tall he is, they need to represent him as a triangle will, to find how tall he is. They need to do this to find the altitude of point W. So Dr. Construction Stein also explains that since triangle will is an equilateral triangle, it is an acute triangle, so the altitude will be within the triangle. Next, Dr. Construction Stein draws circle W. He labels the 2 points that are intersecting circle W and segment IL as points B and R. After that, he constructs circle B and circle R with equal radii and labels the 2 intersections of circle B and R as points E and M. Dr. Construction Stein finally connects the 2 points E and M when he measures EM from point W to the base of IL. He finds that the altitude is 2.6 centimeters. He knows he is 2.6 centimeters tall. Well, that is a triangle. Oh, that is a triangle 30-degree angle. I'll show you how to make it. And he said, "What is this?" So he took part of Dr. Construction Stein is holding it up. He starts by constructing IL, then draws circle I, circle L with equal radii. Then Dr. Construction Stein labels the intersection as point W. He constructs the segments WI and IL, forming a triangle. Dr. Construction Stein also explained that since triangle will is an equilateral, all of its angles would be 60 degrees. Now he created circle W, labeled his intersections as point R, and then he drew circles B and R with equal radii again. You'll notice a trend. Labeled their intersections E and M, and he ended up finding his angle bisector. Angle bisector splits the angle precisely in half. Because he's bisected a 60-degree angle, he has now created a 30-degree angle with his triangle. And that's enough math. Time for lunch. So the gist of the entire unit that we were doing was creating circles with equal radii to find bisections and bisecting angles, bisecting segments, and looking for intersections. Where can you draw a circle that will get you some more information that's helpful? So that's what we did for our unit. Thank you. Wow. Thank you.
That is
say
wonderful.
math isn't applicable to real life? What do they know?
Thank you.